There are many factors, but they really fall into two broad categories. The first is reasonably complex, and there is some comfort in that complexity. The second one is very simple, but vastly more challenging. So in the first area, we have all of the functional things that constrain a business, whether that's finance, whether that's finding new customers, whether that's being challenged by competitors, whether it's HR and resource issues. So these are all the functional things that on a day-to-day basis that can slow down the growth journey and the growth path. They are clearly difficult and challenging, but the reality is they're all manageable. These are all management aspects that should be in your control, and they may slow you down on the journey, they may obstruct and they may deviate from you, but these are all factors that are within your capacity as a business owner to manage. The second arena is really around the growth path that the business goes through, where the business owner has to rethink the way the business operates and the way that it works, the way that it fits together. So they are fundamental points of change or crisis, as some people would view them. And the reason that businesses stagnate is most often because the business owner has reached the limit of their desire for that particular point of change and battle. And therefore, that's the point at which, if you're going to change, you really only have two options. Either to push through that barrier or to pass it on to somebody else to take you through it. And if you think about an early stage business, let's say you've just started your business today and there's maybe 3 of you, and you've all left your full-time jobs and set up on your own. And in those early stages, actually everything's comparatively easy. Communication is easy, everyone knows what's going on, everyone knows who's doing what, and most likely your customers are people that you already know. But when you fast forward that over a number of years, suddenly you've got 50 people, and you're in more than one room. You may be in more than one country, and your customers are people that you've never worked with before. Suddenly, every aspect of that becomes more complex, and therefore you need to change the way the business operates, change the way that it works. And those are the key challenges at each stage of the journey. They get bigger and bigger and bigger and more complex. And the other dimension behind that is when you start a business, you have completely unbridled passion. You'll borrow against your house, you'll sell your car, you will work every hour under the day and night. Again, roll that forward quite a number of years, and maybe you now have other responsibilities. Maybe you're not quite prepared to sell your house. Maybe you're rather fond of your car. Maybe your family have other requirements for you in that period. And therefore your attitude to the risk that you're prepared to take changes. And you then enter the space where rather than gambling with your own money, you want to gamble with somebody else's money. And that's a completely different ballgame. So those are the challenges that actually lead a business to kind of reach a point where it has begun to stagnate. And as I say, that's the time to think about, do I want to push through it or do I want to pass it on? Because standing still is not an option.